Hello dear kids, welcome back to our social science class. Today we will learn about the history of medieval India. As we all know that the history is divided into three parts, right? What all are they? Prehistory, prohistory and history. Similarly, the history of India is also divided into three parts or into three different periods. That is, here you can see ancient Indian history, second is medieval Indian history, and the last modern Indian history. Okay, so we have already learnt about the ancient period in grade 6, right? Yeah. In this class, we will learn about the medieval period, which is broadly extends from 8th to 18th century CE. What do you mean by CE? Yeah, it is Common Era, or it refers to the period in history after the birth of Jesus Christ. And earlier it was known as AD or Anno Domini, right? Like in ancient period, the medieval period of India also witnessed large social changes in the society, economy, then politics, religion, culture, etc. So, for better understanding of these changes, this period, that is medieval period, is subdivided into early medieval period and late medieval period. Okay. So, the early medieval period broadly spans from 8th to 18th century. Okay. In this, Palas, Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, Cholas and Rajputs were dominant forces. So, how can we learn their names? These Palas, Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, Cholas and Rajputs. How? I will give you a tip. Pyar Pyar Chola. What? Pyar Pyar Chola. What do you mean by Pyar Pyar Chola? Pyar 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 Chola. So first one Pyar, Palas, Rashtrakutas. The next Pyar, Pratiharas, Rajputs, and then Cholas. Yeah, this way of remembering things is known as mnemonics, right? Yeah. So it will be easy for you to understand the facts. Okay, fine. So we discussed that the early medieval period broadly spans from 8th to 18th century, and now the late medieval period spans from 13th to 18th century. So this period starts with the establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, remember Delhi Sultanate, and extends till the reign of the Mughals. So, India is also known as what? Bharat, Hindustan, etc. See, before we learn about the medieval India, we should know something related to changing names of the regions in India. So, we will learn about why was India known as Bharat and how did it came to be known as Hindustan. So, let's find out. The first article of the Constitution of India states that India, that is Bharat, shall be union of states. Remember one thing, that is the Republic of India is called Bharat, while Hindustan is mostly used in historical context. Okay, so Republic of India is called Bharat, while Hindustan is mostly used in historical contents, clear or context. So now let's learn about Bharat. The name Bharat is derived from the name of Bharata, okay, the son of Dushyanta, a legendary ruler mentioned in Mahabharata. Okay, so come to Hindustan. The name is ultimately derived from Sindhu, which is the Sanskrit name of the river. So, the rulers of the Sultanate at Mughal periods called their Indian dominion Hindustan. But Hindustan became synonymous with India only during British Raj. So now we will move to the next topic, that is sources of medieval period. So in grade 6 we have learned that historians depend on some sources like manuscripts, inscriptions, buildings, artifacts, coins, etc. to study the past. So these are known as what? These are known as sources of history, right? So to get various informations from medieval period, we have a variety of literary sources and archaeological sources. So we have literary sources and archaeological sources. So let's learn more about it. The first one is literary sources. As we all know, paper was invented in China around 100 BCE. Yeah. And it was gradually introduced to the rest of the world. So in India, people started writing chronicles of rulers, judicial records, accounts and taxes on paper. So before the invention of the paper, that is in ancient period, they were written on palm leaves or the bark of birch trees. I will show you few examples. So it was written on a palm leaf. Okay, so here it is. And so after the invention of paper, they started writing it on paper. So I will show you the example. So this is the model of an inscription written over a paper. You can watch it. I don't know how to read it out. For this, we have to get the help of historians, right? Okay. So the teachings of saints and traders' transactions were also recorded on paper. So remember, dear kids, earlier manuscripts were collected only by wealthy people, rulers and monasteries and temples, and stored in archives. Okay, fine. So these manuscripts and documents provide a lot of detailed information to historians. But historians have to be very careful while using these documents. Why? Because all these documents were handwritten. There was no printing machine like we have now. So when they copied the manuscript, they introduced small changes unknowingly. Remember? So there is a possibility that these small changes went on increasing generation after generation. So that's why these manuscripts are not always reliable. Clear? Now come to the next point, that is archaeological sources. Other than literary sources, the archaeological sources are of immense value in the reconstruction of the socio-cultural and political history of medieval India. So coins belonging to this period are a valuable resource to reconstruct the medieval period. So it helps to reconstruct the dates of historical events. Apart from coins, monuments of this period gave evidence of the advancement of technology, architectural style, etc. Many inscriptions on the walls and also tells us the life of the people. And our next topic is emergence of new social and political groups during medieval period. So we all have learned in our previous class that a number of foreign invaders came to India. Why? Yes, attracted by its wealth. Among such groups were the early Muslim invaders like Muhammad of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. But what happened to them? Prithviraj Chauhan, he is the Indian ruler from the Chahmana dynasty, was ruling Delhi and Ajmer area, and he defeated Muhammad Ghori in a fierce battle. Fierce battle means? Fierce means like a lion. When you are fierce, opponent fear you. So he defeated Muhammad Ghori, but later Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori, and his slaves were able to lay the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. Later, the Delhi Sultanate was replaced by the Mughal, who established the Mughal Empire. Apart from these people, several other groups of rulers also emerged within the borders of India, such as Rajputs, Sikhs, Marathas, Jats, etc. So, when we discuss the social and political group, remember they are Delhi Sultanate, Mughals, Rajputs, Sikhs, then Marathas and Jats, etc., etc. So, we will discuss about these groups later in the next lessons. Now, we will discuss about some amazing discoveries which led to a great change in the economy of medieval India. Extension of agriculture was marked by the gradual clearing of forest, which in turn led to the migration of forest dwellers to other areas. More and more people started tilling the land. New and better technologies were introduced in agriculture, which enhanced the production of crops. In irrigation, the Persian wheel came to be used. Very important, the Persian wheel came to be used for irrigation. Do you know about Persian wheel and its functioning? Let's watch the video.